Diversity has been a huge topic lately. Now more than ever, companies are getting serious about diversity and what it means to them. However, when we're talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion, we need to get on the same page about how it relates to the real estate industry. Today I'll be breaking down diversity, equity, and inclusion as it relates to real estate. So I'm sure you've all been hearing the word diversity. Diversity has been a big topic in the last year within companies and customers alike. People want to know what diversity means to your company. And today I'll be sharing, when we're talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion as it relates to the real estate industry, what we're really talking about. So what do we mean when we say diversity? We are talking about numbers. We are talking about data and things that can be broken down into percentages. For example, how many people of women make up the leadership in your organization? How many different ethnicities and races work at your job and serve on your committees? When we're talking about increasing diversity, we're talking about increasing those numbers so that we have different, diverse perspectives working together for common goals. For example, myself as a Black attorney make up 5% of the legal profession. Diversity means increasing that number so that 5% can go to 10 and go to 20. That is what we mean when we say increase diversity. Now, it's not enough to just increase diversity. Where it really gets going is when we talk about inclusion. What inclusion means is that diverse candidate, that diverse employee, or that diverse person in leadership is able to show up authentically, true to themselves. Inclusion is all about creating and fostering a work environment where everyone is showing up as themselves. They don't feel like they have to change their identity or assimilate to the masses. When we're talking about inclusion, it's important to foster that work environment so that we're all able to be true to who we are and to work at your full potential. What does inclusion look like at your work environment? Are you able to show up authentically? Are your coworkers able to show up as themselves? If the answer is yes, that's the environment that we're striving to create. Not only diverse environment, but inclusive as well. Now that you've learned about what diversity means and what it means to increase diversity and what it means to be an inclusive environment, now we're going to get into equity. Some may argue that equity is the most important topic in the whole DEI because it forces us to address the inequities in real estate. When we're talking about inequities in real estate, we're talking about things like a Newsday study, which showed that people of color were discriminated against at alarming rates compared to buyers with similar characteristics. Everything was the same except their race. This study also showed that people of color were being steered to certain neighborhoods based on their race or national origin, which is not allowed. Another inequity in real estate is the low home ownership rates for people of color. A 2019 census showed that the white home ownership rate was at 74% compared to the Hispanic rate at 47% and the African American home ownership rate at 43%. When we're talking about addressing the inequities in real estate, we're talking about bridging that gap between 74 and 43%. What is it going to take to allow people of color to own homes at equal rates as their peers? Another barrier to home ownership is generally not having the resources and the knowledge. Here at the association, we've established a diversity council to work on some of these issues, but we need your help. Form committees, get involved, and do what you can to make sure that buyers are informed and that we're increasing those home ownership rates. I hope you found this video informative, and now we're all on the same page about what diversity, equity, and inclusion means in real estate. See you next time.